want to thank you for the gift of life and the gift of one another. How do we pray, Father, as we start this meeting? May you guide us and may you show us, help us to understand what we learn, O God, and help us to be committed, Father, and to be ready to run. We pray, Father, that you may help us in the spirit of understanding. Also help our speaker, O God, that as he speak, O God, Father, we pray that may be able to understand and also help that everything will go well, O God, and we trust in your name, O God. I pray this shortly, believing and trusting in your name. Amen.
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 Thank you. Thank you so much, Deno. Okay, so I'm going to just share my screen. So I'm going to start off where we left off last time. We were able to import a data set. I hope for those who missed the class, you are able to catch up on the recording. Um, I will, for me to also move on, I will just have to quickly go through what we learned. So, if you haven't watched the recording, though I won't be as patient as last time, but you will be able to see what exactly we did. Okay, so the whole goal. So, are you guys seeing my screen? Can I just get a verbal yes? Can I please get a verbal yes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So remember, I might not be able to see the text messages. Okay, I'll probably log on with my phone. But if I don't see, I mean, not the text messages, the chat section. If I don't be able to see your question or anything, please just unmute yourself and ask the question. So we installed Tidyverse and the RCPP packages, um, which we said that we are going to be using Tidyverse, which is a collection of R packages for data science. The packages include dplyr for data manipulation, tidyr for data tidying, reader for data import, stringer for strings, forcats for factors, etc. There are so many. So, and then we have the RCPP, which provides R functions as well as C++ classes, therefore offers integration between R and C++. So for us to be able to install that, we do install packages, put it as a vector, as a collection, and then put the RCPP and the tidyverse. And then once you just run it, okay, so first, if you are not here, we created, come here to new file. If you have a new interface, you can go to new file, and then you have the R markdown, and then it will guide you, and then you just create, probably give it any name, but let it have an extension of .rmd. And then after that, now that's the interface you're going to use. You're going to be using R Markdown because we saw that is able to help us implement it in chunks. So if I just be able to run this, um, so okay, so it will install the packages. And also if you were there last time, in case you just opened your R Studio and you hadn't run the commands before, I would just advise you to do that so that the packages can um, be installed again so as to reduce chances of errors. So, and then you load up the package. So I'm hoping that is done. So it will, okay. So I'm just waiting it to be done to load that up. So So you will see it say that RCPP has installed successfully. Um, it will definitely guide you on if it hasn't installed successfully or something. It will tell you the errors on the terminal. You'll just see it on the console. That is, okay, I just can't be able to maneuver. So remember we said that this is the source panel, this is the console panel, and then we have the environment. And then this, we can be able to navigate the file system, and you can also be able to just look up for more information concerning something on R. So you can see it's telling me that everything is downloaded. I'm just waiting it to finalize. So even if you did this last time, you just have to do it again. Um, you'll just have to do it again. So remember, this is the command install.packages crcpp tidyverse, and then just run that selected line. So I think that is done. I'm hoping. Okay, it's taking forever. So just make sure you do that as well. So today we are going to finish that and touch upon data visualization, which is very critical in analyzing data. And then after that, I will just, I'm hoping to end the class by giving you guys an assignment. I know I haven't done that since we started. So that is my wish. And then now, um, yeah, we will cover more in the next class after that, but we have a lot to do today. I have prepared more. Okay. Yeah, so in case, so you can see that everything has been installed. You can even see telling me done tidyverse. So in case you find an error, just drop it on the chat section. I will guide you to this command, which will set up everything up. That is specifically if this is the first um, time you have downloaded Visual Studio on your machine, it might give you an error. So once you install, load up that package. So everything is loaded up. Yeah, so it has gone ahead and done all that. It has done from line 7 up to line 11. So I can now move on, and I call the chocolate data. I read it in. So for those who are not here, we were getting this chocolate data from the, we were getting it from Kaggle. So you can just come here. Yeah. So if I go to my, no, it's actually here it is. So I used this data set. Okay. What has happened? Oh yeah, let me just, I don't know if I click on it to take me to where it is. Okay. So data sets, and then, okay, so you can see there are many different types of data sets. So I picked the chocolate. Let me just write, oh yeah, chocolate bar ratings. So if you just click on chocolate bar ratings at the bottom, you'll find flavors of cocoa. Click on download. Once you do that, access it, find the path, and then I gave it the variable chocolate data. Remember we said the less sign and the dash means is equals in R. So I'm giving that variable chocolate data, and then I read in the comma separated values. The data set comes in as a comma, is saved as a comma separated value. So for me, this was my path to that data set. So once I hit run, um, I'm able to see the data set. So wait just a minute. Okay. So if I click on the data set, here on the environment, you will see it. You'll see it here. So I'm just waiting for it to show up. You can see it telling me stop, meaning there's something that is running. So yeah, so if I decrease this, I'm able to see how my data set looks like. So my data set has 9 columns and it has 1,795. Okay, yours might be a little bit more. I did some operations on it, so it's a little bit less. So if I come here, I use the head to just see the first few lines of the file. And we are able to see the first few lines of the file. So if for me, I specified it to be 7 lines, the first 7 lines, and the 7 lines. So for tail, we used it to see the last few lines. So I don't think it's important for me to take up a lot of time going through each and every. But we also were able to filter out, like get contents only on the 6th row and the 4th row, able to get contents in the 6th row. So to do that, we put 6 and you separate with a comma. And then to get contents on the 6th column, you do chocolate data. So remember, chocolate data is the variable name that we give our data set. So that's why I keep using it. So we also have, you can get the first few contents of the 6th column. So that is head chocolate data. So I can also remove data by placing the negative sign in front of the index you don't want. So for this, I remove the first row, and then I confirmed if that row has been removed using the head. And then this I have to run. So if you are with us last time, so make sure you run this command while we were removing the white spaces, so that it can help us to be able to analyze our data more. So to do that, we use this command. So if I run that, it removes the white spaces of my data set in the names now. So I use the string to just check our columns. So I think it has already run that as well. Yeah, this. So you might also want to just see the few values of the column called ratings. So to do that, you just say head chocolate data, pick the column called ratings. So remember, this is something we did last time, so I'm just recapping. So, and then you might want to see the type, the data type of each column. So to do that, if I just run this command, could not find type convert, what haven't I? this is for tidyverse. I think I loaded up tidyverse. Okay, so just go to that specific command. This. So okay, so I want to be able to look at the data type for each column. Is it running or not? Okay, it seems that it's giving me that output. So check again the data types using string. Okay, so you see for this percent, we notice that it's saying that this is a character, yet we can actually see that it has percentages. So when we are analyzing data, that is something that may cause us issues. You can see for the date, it's numbers. Yeah, that's numbers. For the reference, it's numbers. Um, for the location, this is rating, location rating. Um, okay, location, yeah, characters, France. For the rating is numbers, yes, for the bin. So which the only column that looks to be a little bit off is the percentage. So how do we change that so that we make sure that um, that is displayed well so that we can be able to analyze this data set efficiently? So I use this command to remove that percentage sign. So where we said the S apply, this function takes the list, vector or data frame as input and gives the output as a vector or matrix. And the G sub is used to substitute the values with the input value. So for this case, I'm saying substitute percentage with just an empty string and output it as X. So let us see when I run that command if that data type will now change. So I hope this is actually working as is expected. So let me see. I don't see as if it is. Let's remove the spaces. There's something that has not worked here before. So let me try this G space again. And then it has just a string. And then add Coco ratings. Okay, so this is just showing us the various values on the rating. So let me type convert that to be able to see. Yeah, okay. And then let me just check the data type again. Okay, so let us try this again. Yeah, you can see now it has it's no longer a character on the percent. It's now removed the percentage signs and it's now declared as a number. So that's what that command did for us. So we can now just okay, though we have already, I think it has already run all that. It has run this chunk from line all this from line 58 up to line 60. So now we are going to move on to installing deep layer just in case. Mhm. Okay, so why are we doing that? I want to summarize data. So I remember we stopped here actually last time. So I want to summarize data. So I'm going to use the deep layer package just in case the Visual Studio is not able to get that the first time. So I just installed it again to just remove the errors. So if you remember the last time I had an error, so to do that, I just did that. I load up the library. So you have to install it, then load it. So I'm hoping, so if you are there in the last class, we are progressing from where we left off. Now we are where we left off. So we checked at the summary. So this is just to see how does the summary work. So this output should be brought here, should be output here to tell us how this summary is working. So it has actually run this whole chunk, but you can just look at it again. So that's why it's telling me that. So here, if you just go to this side of the pane, you can see it's telling us how the summary function operates. Its arguments that are possible to use, the values. So I hope you guys are able to see that. So last time we got stuck here at summary all. So summarize all. So there's summary and then there's now summarize all. So to just question and find out more information about the summarize all. No, don't install again, but it will. Okay. So I don't know why it has brought an internal server error on that specific. Okay, yes. Yeah. So here it is. Wait, this is for summary. Oh yeah, if I just, there's a drop down here. If I now go to summarize, summary, summarize. Um, okay. There's supposed to be one for summarize. So let me just refresh this, clear this history. But you can do that on your machines. I don't know why mine is being moody. If you just click on, you do question tag, summarize all, you should be able to find more information, and we looked at that last time. So we will need to load these packages for this summarize all to work. We will need to load these packages called Margarita. They said it has a French accent, so I won't read it out. You can see it on the screen. So go ahead and do that. Let me just decrease on that. So if I'm too fast, also just tell me. But go ahead and do that. Install line 72. You can also install it deep layer again, just in case. This was what you were missing last time. That's why you were having an error. So if you're totally lost, also just say so on the chat section, and then I can catch you up. Yeah, so those packages are just installing. So to install them, use these commands from line 72 up to line 75. And then we shall now use, this will come with, what we call a pipe operator. And this was actually used, introduced so that it can decrease the development time and to improve readability and maintainability of the code. So just to do that, do install packages, this, and then install packages dplyr, or if you don't need to install, if you don't need to do it, if you just did it above, and then library, load those libraries up. And then now let us get a mean. Let us get the mean. So if I've left you behind, just type on the, just type on the chat section if I've left you behind, if you need me to recap while people are doing that. And if you're done, just type done. Also, once you're done, just run that code. It will give you this, what it was doing last time. But it's important to note that it's all this is telling us that for some values they are not numeric, so you can't be able to get a value, I mean, for a value that is a string. So you getting this error has no problem, but you will see some values at the top. You will see such values at the top. So we can go ahead and specify a condition that you should only summarize if it's numeric. So if I run this, you can see what has happened. It has now summarized anything that is numeric. Now we no longer have the errors. So with the summarize all, it will summarize all the rows, I mean all the columns, but some are not numeric. So for that reason, we get an error. We get an error. We get the output, yes, because we got this output. If you can see it, we got this output, but um, it also gives us a warning message that some are not numeric, hence returning not available, not available. So these are for columns which their values are strings or characters, which you are able to see. So for now, to filter that, we just go ahead and say summarize if is numeric mean. Please, if I have left you behind, go just drop on the chat section. Please repeat. If you've been able to summarize it, just type done so that I can know that we are together. I don't want to be rapping here. I just want to guide you guys to be able to do this as well. And if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and ask. So please rewind. Okay. So what I started with, this is a continuation from the last class. So what we did the last class is we came here, we came to Kaggle, we signed up on Kaggle, and then we looked for this data set, chocolate bar ratings, where we came at the bottom of that data set, you'll see flavors of cocoa. You click on download, you click on download, you will see it's downloading. If I just click, you'll see it downloading on your pen. So you can see on my case, it has started downloading. It's 124 kilobytes. So those are little. So it will do that quickly. So if you just come here, okay, let us first come to our studio. At the top of the screen, the first thing we did is we installed these packages, the RCPP on the Tidyverse. You don't have to install the RCPP. You can just start with Tidyverse, but it's just good to have it. for future. So the tidyverse is a collection of R packages, and the R packages are, for example, the D player, the tidier, the reader, and etc. So once you install that, you will now load them up or read those packages. So you'll say library tidyverse, and then in case you find any conflicts, you can just say install packages conflicted, library conflicted, and then go ahead and also do library deploy, though this won't run because I haven't installed it yet here in any of this. So that will do later on. So in case you find an error on that stage, just communicate. I will send you this code on line 5. And this is for those who are using Linux. Just communicate. I will send you that code on line 5. If you're using Windows, there's a high possibility you won't find an error. But if you're using Linux, you might encounter an error. Just text, you have encountered an error, and then I can be able to guide you. So I can share it with you. So once you get there, once it will actually tell you if everything is done. It will tell you that it has finished downloading. You can see for my case, if it has an error, it will also tell you. So probably if it has an error when you load up Tidyverse, it will tell you package not found or something like that. So once that has been done successfully, I created a variable chocolate data, which I read in the comma separated values, and I found the path to the file I downloaded. So if you come to your files, so probably is in downloads. So I have so many, so flavors of cocoa. If I look at the properties, I can be able to find my path just to be sure, and the file name, yeah. So I used that, I found that path. So this is my path. This is my path for my file. Home, wherever she ready downloads flavors.coco.csv. And then please, after each line, click on the run and run the selected line. So once you do that, you should be able to see on your environment pane, you should be able to see this like a table. If you click on it, you'll be able to view your table. It will come up on the environment pane. So we did several operations. You can, after that, okay, this is the main, I'm just touching on the main things that you should have for this class. For the analyzing of the data set, you can just look at the recording that was shared on YouTube, and you can just be able to see the different operations or we did on the data set. We were able to check the first few lines, the last few lines. We were able to filter a specific row with a specific column. You are able to look at a specific row. You are able to look at a specific column. You're able to look at the first contents of a specific column. You are also able to remove any row we did not want and confirm that it has been removed. We then came ahead, and this is an important stage. So if you're not here in the last class, once you do this, you can skip the analyzing. You can skip the analyzing. Okay, Ken Joel, I will help you out. But confirm the path. Confirm the path. You can skip the analyzing and come to this line straight away. So come to line 41 to remove the white spaces. So we get rid of the white spaces in the column names to allow us to refer to the columns by their names. If you are here in the first class, we realize that R is greatly sensitive to white spaces. So yeah, okay, Ken Joel, you have said error, you have only said home me downloads, but you haven't referenced the file itself. There should be now a place now you should come and add something like this, flavors of cocoa.csv. So look into that, Ken. So yeah, and then do this to remove the white spaces so that we can reference the column names. So I said names, chocolate data, G sub, so it substitutes the white spaces, and then it now gives that as a name for the chocolate datas. So the white spaces will affect with data cleaning. So remember, cleaning of data is ensuring that every column is of that data type. If sometimes you can imagine when people are taking in data, sometimes probably somebody inputs their name, accidentally they input a number when they're writing their name, when they're typing their name. Somebody else, it has spaces, somebody else doesn't have spaces. So with data cleaning, we are ensuring that the data is clean. It's all of the same data type, it's all of the same data, so we can be able to analyze it better. So we use the string chocolate data to just check our data types, which is what we were getting this, where we were getting this output. Mm, where we are getting this output. What's that? Uh, okay, I believe it gave us this output. This. So if I now I can also specify checking the head of a column of, so for this case I checked the head for rating still in my data set. So I hope you guys are together. Please, if you're together, just type done so that I can know some, and if you're not together, just type please don't fear typing. Nobody will judge you. So with the type convert, the program is able to estimate, depending on the values you have, which data type should that column be of. So that's where we were coming up with type convert. Where are we? Yeah, type convert. Okay, type convert gave us this. So what did this give us? So let us just look where we are removing the space. I got an error. Well, so can you type the error, or will you share your screen, Samuel? Will you share your screen, or can you type the error?
I will
So
type
yeah,
it.
pardon?
I will type the error.
You will share, or you've said what?
Type it. I will type the error.
I'm sorry,
I
you're
will put
breaking.
the
Is
error in the chat.
you'll type the error? Okay, fine. Just type it. I will be able to guide you. So you see, when we removed the spaces, it gave us this output. It gave us this output. So we assume that, okay, we could not have been able to see this if we have the spaces. So with the spaces, we are able to see it well. So, and then the string chocolate data just estimates for each column which data type should that be. So for this is characters, numbers. So we notice for the percentage was off because 6370 and wherever in our knowledge, those are numbers, they are not characters. So we realize that probably the percentage sign is confusing the compiler. So that's where I will show you the command we used, and then we saw these are all characters, numbers. So we are able to see that those are okay, right? So apart from, okay, now here it's after it has, we have edited. apart from this one, cocoa percent. So, okay. Samuel, I think you'll have to share your screen so that I can exactly spot where that error is coming from and after which command.
Okay,
Can you be able
let
to do
me
that?
comment because I'm on the meeting on my phone. Then I'm running it on system. So let me connect on system.
Okay, when you're ready, just type ready and I will know that you're ready. Okay, so yeah. So with that, we have seen that it's only the cocoa percent which looks a little bit off. So how do I make sure that that data is represented by the compiler as it should be? So first we remove that percentage symbol since it isn't a number, and so you're being guided by Magena to put a double slash instead of a single slash. So you can try that. So Magena is guiding you, Samuel, on the chat section. Thank you, Magena. So to do that, we use this command, this one, line 58, that one. So where the S apply takes a list vector or data frame as input and gives output in vector or matrix. So we want that column to be taken in as either a list, a vector, or a data frame, and to give it out as a vector or a matrix. And then the G sub, this percentage, is used to substitute the values with the input values. So for our case, we want to substitute. So first, it's taken as a function of x, where the G sub is, it replaces now the percentage, it substitutes the percentage with an empty string and outputs it as a function of x, as a value of x now being a function of x. So once that is done, we found this output. We got, so it stops, you can see it is initially taken, this 6370 is taken as a character. I mean, yeah, as a character, yet we know these are numbers. So it is because of this percentage. So we have substituted that percentage with the G sub, and we can see now what happens. It's now, the compiler now recognizes it as a number, and it shows that it's now 63, 70, 70, 70. So it has removed the percentage value, which was confusing the compiler a bit. So with that being said, I was able to type convert to give us that output, and to string to just give us this output so that you can be able to just see that conclusion, this one. So the type convert, okay, let me just use, so the type convert did this. Wait, I hope I haven't scrolled to, okay, I've scrolled to down. So somewhere it has worked. So please, if don't be left behind. I feel like with that 1 hour, everybody should not be caught up. Wait, where are we? Okay, yeah, here we are. So could not find function read CV. Okay, I think then you'll just have to share your screen. Ken, Joel, you just have to share your screen so that we can guide you. Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay. Please, if you have an error, please communicate. Do not hesitate. Okay, so let me see his screen.
So when I try to load this, I'm
Uh-huh.
getting this error.
So you have loaded from the beginning, right? From the top. You have started from
Yes,
top. Are you sure? Like you have started with the install package all over again.
yes. I installed this and then imported this, then
Today,
then I did this.
today.
No, this was from last time.
Okay, so okay, yeah, even today you have to do that again. You have to start from line
Oh,
1. Yeah. So even for those who are in the last class, as much as you have the commands, you have to do it from line 1. From now, the install packages, it will work. So there are specific steps you should not miss. Um, Let me just, um, you will communicate, right? If it doesn't work, but I bet no, it will work.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay. So I was saying, um, if you, okay. Yeah, even if you're in the last class, there are several commands you just have to do all over again. You'll have to do that part for installing. You have to load up the libraries all over again. You'll have to read in the file all over again. Um, you'll have to remove the spaces for the columns all over again. And you will have to do the type convert just to confirm. And then this is actually the most, also another important one, substituting the percentage in the cocoa percent. And then after that, we will now get to where we were. We were at install packages. So I installed the player again, load it up. We see if you want to just for R to guide you what summary can do, though it's already loaded up here. So no, I think it will refuse because I said no. I don't know. I realize if it brings an issue. So let me just say yes. So, okay, let me first let it load up again. So please don't be left behind. Just communicate. So you can see it's giving me here. I can find out more information of how a summary operates. So with that being said, okay, let me just let it finish doing that. So make sure you have installed the packages deployer. Is there anybody who I have left behind? Is there anybody who has been left behind? So I hope, Collins, you have been able to catch up. So yeah, so in case you miss a class, it's just important to just watch the recordings so that you don't get frustrated in class, in the next class. So I bet by now it has finished. Okay, so let me see if now it will accept to show us the summary all, because I also want to show you guys something. There are some values that are taken in by the summary all, which are important for you to see. So has it been able to show up the summary all? So no. But I bet in your machines it will accept. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I touched that it's not working. If you just type summary all, you see there are different values. There's the summary at, summary if. So not summary all, summarize all, summarize all. So make sure you look into that. So okay. So this is where we were last time. So I hope everybody has catched up. Can I find several people just typing done on their chat section so that on the chat section, can I have several people just typing done on the chat section so that I can just know we are together? Please just type done. Just type done so I can know we are together. Nobody is typing. Are you guys left behind? Just type done. If there's a command you want me to scroll up so that you can see how it is done, just tell me. Because whatever we are going to do next, you need to have this data set. So if there's a command you want me to just, I want to remove the white space. To remove the white space, use this. Line 41. Remove that white space like that. Please, if there's a command you want me to show you again, just type, or if there's a place where you are still like you don't remember that command that I did next, just tell me where you last are or where I have left you, and then I will guide you. Just type on the chat section, I'll see it. Please don't be left behind. So Samuel, once you remove, I hope you have done that. Once you do that, just tell me so that I can guide you on what to do next. Guys, let's cooperate. If you have done everything, you're on the summary part, just type done. Please. Okay, Magena is done. I have done the reinstallation, still getting the same error. Okay, so can you please share your screen then, Joel? We look at it. We look at it. So Samuel, have you been able to remove those white spaces?
Sorry?
Have you been able to write in line 41 on my code on my laptop? Okay. So I can type it for you in the chat section. Please, guys, don't be left behind. Just type where you're stuck. I guide you. We need to be in the same place moving forward. So, Muigai, we are waiting for you to share your screen.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still stuck here. I did the installation of the libraries that I needed, and then tried
Okay.
again, and then still got this.
Okay, so
Untitled function read CSV.
okay. Can you try and remove the? I can see there is a space
Yes.
between R and the is equals. The read for
RN.
like the read CV. There's a
Yes.
space there. Yeah. Table try now running it after that.
Okay.
So are you in Moringa by any chance? Ken, are you in
I was there,
Moringa?
but no. No, I'm
No,
not.
okay. Okay. So same error.
So I'm still getting the same. Yeah.
Okay. Can we also remove the one that is before?
Okay.
Flavors. Let's see. Okay, I can see it's the same error. Red Sea Home, Moringa. And you're sure that that's the file path, right?
Yes. It's here and then. No, I'm not sure. Perhaps we can try this.
Can you just confirm? Go to the flavors of cocoa and just confirm. But okay, just confirm. Here it is, right? So click on properties or right click it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah. So it's this one.
yeah.
Okay. So try to run it again and run this.
Hmm.
What could be the issue?
Just a minute. So the packages have installed well, right? Okay.
Yes.
So wait.
Yes.
I think you have named it wrongly. You have said flavors of cocoa. Are those O's? Then A?
What?
You see where you have flavors of cocoa.
Cacao.
It's cacao. Is that the same thing you have? Or are you as
It's
O's?
cut.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So I think that was also an
I was at
issue.
O.
Yeah. Wait, has it
So
worked?
we just confirm the name flavors of
You can even just
cacao.
copy paste it. Yeah. Dot
It hasn't.
CSV. It hasn't.
It hasn't. Yeah. Is this an inbuilt function?
Read CSV, yeah. So probably I just look at it online. I see where it's not saying that. It's saying that it's not. What's the error again? What's the error? It's a little bit dark. I can't see. What's the error it's giving you?
Could not find. Okay. I'm just
Could not
create that.
find.
Says
You
could not find
increase.
function read CSV.
You increase on the tools. You'll have global functions.
Sorry.
On tools, you'll have global functions. Now you'll find the Zoom.
The global options.
Yeah, global options.
Check.
Um, yeah, where you have appearance.
Mhm.
So I found this solution, so probably you can try it.
Check.
You see, oh yeah, so you see where you have zoom. You see where you have zoom, click on that drop down.
Okay.
Click on that drop down, and then yeah, can now alter it depending on what you feel is comfortable. Okay, so let me just send you a solution, you see if it will work. So Samuel will respond to you. So try that, install packages reader. Install packages read R, and then remember to load it. So let me see. This is Linux. You're using Linux, right? Are you using Linux?
How do we exit this? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
At the bottom you'll see okay or apply at the bottom of that page.
Okay.
Did you find it? Go back to
Others,
appearance.
yes, decrease it to up
Yeah,
to
at the
100.
bottom.
10.
Okay, just click on the zoom that you want to change. And that will be too small. It has to be more than 100, like 150 Apple will be better.
So I can't quite get to the done part. Can't quite see it. Is there another way I can exit from this? Perhaps.
Um, Here below the editor's theme, what is there? Those two buttons.
Below the editor's theme.
Yeah, just below the zoom and everything on that same page. No, at the
I can't
bottom.
see. Can't quite. Okay.
Yeah, turn it out, I guess. If it refuses, then you'll have to use the command I was telling people to use. It has
Yeah,
accepted
I
to
have
load
that
up the
option anyway.
packages. Oh yeah, it has accepted to chill. It has refused completely. Okay.
Yeah. Now we can. Let me just try and load this.
Okay. Yeah, it's better.
And then I'll run this.
Yeah. So I don't know if you will be required to still run line one again.
One more purchase.
Okay, so we just press yes, we see.
So global option, and then parents. And we'll go to hand, and then I'll say hi, and then okay.
Okay, Samuel, that was not for you. This was for Muigai to read the package. Yours for you, what you should do next, Samuel, is let me just type it to you in the chat section. Mm,
So okay,
Wait, what has
I will
happened?
update you once it's done installing all of this.
Yeah, in case it's okay, so
So I ran this line.
after installing, make sure you also read in that package, like do library reader, okay? Just like you are doing for tidyverse
Yeah.
and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if in case it refuses,
Okay.
install the package from
Okay.
line
So this
one.
should. Mhm.
Pardon, yeah?
Okay. I was just asking if there's a problem like I put it after just below the installing packages part. Will it interfere with anything?
No,
But
it still doesn't make a difference. But just make sure you load it up like as
all right.
library reader, and then yeah, just don't forget that step.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So is there anybody else who is stuck? So Samuel, let me just share my screen again. So remember, you once you now remove the spaces, we just use the string to check our column. So I didn't keep giving you that command. I immediately took you to the type convert to just see, so that you can get the output to see which type data type is in every column. So I'm expecting you to see something like this, to see something like, I just have to run it again. Yeah, I'm expecting you to see something like this, only that now for the Coco percent, it will be a character. So I don't know if I can find that. Yeah, wait, what? No, that's not that one. Um, yeah, this, exactly this. So I'm expecting you to see something like this. Once you run type convert. Ugh, yeah, that is what I'm expecting you to see. So if you run now okay, if what the type convert will give you this, and then the string chocolate data will now give you this. So run those two commands, run type convert here, then come ahead and run string chocolate data. So anybody who is stuck, anybody who is stuck. Mm, So for people who are using Windows, you might not experience as many errors as for the people who are using um, Linux. So once you do that, can I just get somebody who has said they are done? Done is you have, so once you do that, once you do this, you will now come and remove this percentage sign so that it stops showing that our chocolate data is a character, so that because they're in percentages. So we need it to show that it's a number. So I'll just type that as well. So with that, if you do know what you have done before, these commands, if you use those commands now, you should be able to um, get the output where instead of this percentage being a character, it is not going to be displayed as a number, because remember, we are cleaning our data. We want, if this is a number, it should show that that column is a number. If it's a character, it should show that that column is a character. If it's a character, be a character. But for this, we saw that it was showing that this is a character, yet these are numbers. So we realized that the percentage sign was affecting that. So that's why we use the command in our terminal using the supply to take in that column, which is from the chocolate data, take in the column cocoa percent, where as a function of X, substitute the percentage sign with an empty string and output it as X. So with that now, our output now, no, it's okay, I can just run it again. Okay, here it is. It's no longer now a character. Stop pressing that button. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, you can see that now it's no longer a character. It now outputs as a number. So we have cleaned our data, because whatever is supposed to be a number is being shown as a number. Whatever is supposed to be a character is being shown as a character. Guys, I really want to move on. Have you all caught up with me? Can I just get a confirmation of yes? If you have caught up with me, please let me get a confirmation. So we now want to summarize. By the I haven't received any yes or no, so I don't know if I should progress. How are you guys doing? Let me just, I will have to call out people now and ask them. Alvin, how are you coming up? Are you Have you caught up with me? Annie Jambi, Christopher Nyaga, Christopher Yogo, um, Deno Masha, Elizabeth, Joshua, Samuel, Pauline, Sarafina, Magena, Timothy, Wanjiru. Have you guys caught up? Can I just get a yes or a no so that I can know what exactly is happening? Okay, type convert didn't work, but type convert dot con, though the data didn't display. Okay, I don't know if you remember, also for me, it kinda gave me an issue when I did the type convert. Once you do this again, run this, just go to that command and run it again, Samuel. Just run it again on your terminal, then run string chocolate data. Just run string chocolate data again, and then chill, what did I do? Oh yeah, I came here and I loaded up the tidyverse again. You can also just go to the top of your screen, click on and run that selected line, and then come back down, run g sub for the space to substitute the space again, and then string whatever chocolate data. And then once you type convert, it should now be able to show this with the percentage on the cocoa percent. Now, if you run this command and then move on. It will now be able to remove that and clean that data. So guys, I really want to move on. So in case you are totally left behind, just drop it on the chat section. So so we loaded up this package. We installed these packages. I think it's Margarita or what. Okay, sawa sawa Samuel. So and then whatever, you can see it on my screen. And then I installed it. I installed also deep layer and then library. I loaded up that library now and also loaded up the deep layer library. So I tried summarizing all. I tried summarizing all. So this is summarizing all those columns. So if I run it, we can see that yes, it has summarized something. It has summarized something here at the top, but we have also these warning messages where they are telling us that some arguments are not numeric, hence they have not been summarized. So to counter that, I now come and use summarize if. I give a condition is numeric and then I say mean. So that is what you should do. If you do this, if you run it, you will now get anything that was numeric is now, we now get its mean. Guys, I want you to do that. If you do that, please type done. If you do that, type done. For those who are here, the likes of Samuel, just come and do this immediately. Do what we are doing now. Run line 72 up to 81 in my case. Okay, if you do that, just type on the chat section. Please be interactive. Abubakar, where are you? Have you been able to do that? Alvin, Annie Jambi, Christopher, Deno, Elizabeth, Ken Joel, have you caught up? Joshua, Samuel, Pauline, Sarafina, Timothy, have you guys been able to do that? I want you guys to get to that point where you have been able to summarize if on line 82. On line 82. Please help us out in the chat box here. Samuel, where are you being helped out? Yes, all is good. Okay, Christopher.
I want to summarize
You want to summarize? Use
so that I will
this
not
line.
be drawing, so that I will not be drawing people, but that's why I say you should put it there so that I will be sorting myself out. I'm starting to say.
Pardon, your voice has decreased all of a sudden. What have you said?
Okay, I said the reason why I said you should put it in the chat box so that I can be going along so that I will not be drawing people back.
Okay. Okay, I get it. I get it. So you'll do this part. So this is after you have removed the percentage sign and you have been able to see that it has now, this is after which command? I hope you guys saw that command. This one for the chocolate percent. So after that, after it has worked well, the code to remove percentage. Yes, it's up here. Okay, probably you can't see it. It's okay. Probably you are dropped off. So for those of us who have no errors, just take it as a learning moment to understand more deeply and be patient with those who are struggling. So let me just copy. Okay. Sawa sawa. So yeah, so there is the code for removing the chocolate, and then I mean the percentage. So after that, you should now run whatever is install packages, blah blah blah. And then um now I will summarize if it's numeric. So I will summarize any column that is numeric. So that is what I have done there. So yeah, so with that now, I will now come ahead and say um, return a data frame with the mean and a standard deviation of the rating column from the chocolate data. So what do I do if I just want to get the mean and the mean and the standard deviation of the rating column? So I will come and use now this pipe. So remember, this percentage less than or greater than percentage is a pipe function, I don't know if I was able to mention that. Is a pipe operator. And it is introduced to decrease the development time and to improve readability. So if I just run this code, since now I'm going to get summarize average rating, mean rating, and SD rating, standard deviation rating. Somebody is unmuted. So just confirm if it's you. So this is able to give us the standard deviation and the average of the rating, and it's also able to name it. So that is the mean. So it's able to get that mean and name that part average, and the standard deviation, and name it SD rating. So we now move on to use the group by function and give it the name of a specific column. It will look at all the values in that column and group together all the rows that have the same value in the same column. If you pipe that data into the summarize function, it will return the values you asked for each group separately. So for this case, I have said chocolate data pipe operator group by review date, the pipe operator, and then summarize average rating and the mean. So let us see how this will be different from what we had here before, what we had here at the top. So this is for review date. So it will group by review date. So if I run this, you can see what now has happened. You can see the output is giving us. It's okay. This is just running the command. Yeah, so it gives the review date and the average rating and the SD rating of each year of each year. So I hope that is clear. So we now I want now to introduce graphing data, using graphs for our data. So we are going to use a library called ggplot2, which is part of a tidyverse collection of packages. The GG in ggplot stands for the grammar of graphics. So the first function, ggplot, just draws the outline of the plot, including the axes and the tick marks. It takes two parameters, the data set you want to plot, a function AES, which is short for aesthetics. This function itself takes the multiple arguments. So for this case, I just started using X and Y, which will tell the function which columns of the data frame to plot on the X and the Y axis. So that will be placed inside the aesthetics. So let us see how we are going to do that. Somebody is unmuted. Please confirm if you're the one who is unmuted. So let us draw a blank plot first of all. and then with review date as the x-axis and rating as the y-axis. So first we are going to load up the ggplot package. So to load it up, we say library ggplot2. So remember, the function is ggplot, but the library is ggplot2. So if I run that, you can see it gives me an empty plot, and you will see your plot here. It gives me an empty plot and a review date, but there's nothing that has been analyzed, just a blank page. So yeah, so wait, not there. Here. Yeah. So what I have just done is I have just plotted chocolate data, aesthetic on the x-axis, let it be review date, on the y-axis, let it be rating. So I hope you guys are following up as much as I really don't want to leave you behind. Especially on visualizing of data. So plots in ggplot2 are built up using multiple functions. They are connected with the plus sign. So you'll just see us implement that. So we need to add a geom layer to our plot. There are different geom layers. So if I will just share this link with you, but if I click on it, I don't know if I messed it up with so many hashtags. Let me just remove them. So is it? Yeah, here it is. So if I click on this, okay, let me just copy paste it then. Control C. If I will first share it with you. And then I will also open it up. Okay, it's loading up. Wait, what? Page not found. Oh yeah, it's coming up. I don't know why. Wait. Okay. Probably it's geoms. Okay. Let me refresh that. Okay, so let me get that page since I had it. Okay. Using ggplot. Let's open this just in case. Okay, all of them are just saying page not found. I don't know what has happened. I don't know if it's my network or something, but I will share it with you after the class. That's unfortunate. Okay, so there are different geoms that require different aesthetics. is showing page not found. Yeah, Samuel, the same thing for me. I don't know why that is so. So I will find that link again and send it to you. I will find it and send it to you. Okay. Or yeah, I'll find it and send it to you. So hint, different geoms require different aesthetics. So if your code runs but doesn't return a plot, it's usually because you've given ggplot one set of aesthetics, but the geom you're using need a different set. So sometimes you might not correctly input the right variable on the x and the y axis, affecting how your geom is displayed. So, okay, so geom histogram, for example, only needs to know what to plot on the x-axis. So for histogram, when you put it in R, you only need to say what will be plotted on the x-axis. The ggplot will automatically calculate, and we shall see that very soon. It will automatically calculate and give itself the count of the y-axis. So if you tell it to plot something on the x-axis and then something else on the y-axis, it won't return the plot you're expecting. It's only for histogram, it only requires values on the x-axis. So let us create a scatter plot. So that's what you are going to start with. So we are going to draw a plot with review date as the x-axis and rating as the y-axis, and add a point for each data point. So we're just now going to fill up this blank plot we now have. So I am now going to say, you remember when we said that we add the function using a plus sign here? We said we add multiple functions, we connect them using a plus sign. That's in ggplot. So that is what is exactly happening. We are adding a plus sign, G point. So G on point is for printing a scatter plot. So it's very specific. You just don't write any function. So G on point specifically is for a scatter plot. So let us see how that will now print out. If I run that, you see now we have now a scatter plot here. We now have a scatter plot of rating and review date. And you can see as the rating go high, and on the review dates, which ratings, if the ratings are high on which year, on the dates and all that. So let us analyze this data more. So we can get quantitative value. So they're saying that a lot of this data has been plotted on top of each other. And you can see some are like really round, others it looks like it's a little bit distorted, even if you look on your side. Hoping you're doing this together. So this makes our plot very difficult to read. To fix this, we can move each point just a little bit so we can actually see how many of them there are. To do this using the geom jitter, we add by adding the layer geom data. So now we come again and add geom jitter. So if we run this part, you can see how that looks. It might look like it's not that clear, but you can see that this actually gives more data, because you can see this is a little bit sparse, there's a lot of dense here, there's some sparsity on this side. So we are able to analyze that data like that. So guys, I want you guys to wait, let me confirm. Yeah, it's important you guys do that. So do that, get to that point, type done. Once you get to that point, type done. Once you get to that point, if you can't, it's okay. So from the data, we can see that there seems to be more reviews each year, and that there seem to be getting more tightly clustered, and we can see that clearly. So how do we know that these reviews are getting more positive over time? One way to check this is to fit a linear model to this data and see if it goes up or down over the time. So using ggplots, this we can be able to implement easily. So we can add a layer that will fit a linear model to this data set and then plot it. So draw a plot with review dates as the x-axis and rating as the y-axis. That's like we have add a point to each data point, move each point slightly so that it doesn't overlap, and add a smoothed line. So that you're going to use LM, which means linear model. So we have already added our jitter. So now we're going to say geom smooth method is equals to LM. So guys, type all this. Once you run that, uh, once you run that, you should get a line across your data set to know if this is getting more positive or negative. So it looks like it's getting more positive depending on the inclination of that linear model. So they're saying chocolate bars with high cocoa percentage tends to get lower ratings. So they're saying according to this, chocolate data with high gets to get cocoa ratings get, wait, let me say that correctly. Um, yeah, chocolate bars with very high cocoa percentage tend to get lower ratings. They tend to get lower ratings. So yeah, so the ratings are lower where the chocolate datas have lower percentage of cocoa. So I think the important thing is now you will go to your data set and confirm, probably like in 2007, what was the percentage of cocoa then. In 2015, what was the percentage of cocoa then. So it will just be a lot of back and forth. So let's do that so that you can finish this section and look at another section. So how do we plot summarized data sets? So we have, before we have seen how we get the summarized data set. So how do we now plot that? How do we plot that? So for example, I want to return the average and the standard deviation of ratings by the year a rating was given. So if I do that, if I run this, you can see. So average rating based on that year. So you can see using this command, this is actually easier for you to analyze. So you can be able to see an average rating based on the year. So it looks like for, let's say 207, or this is like You can say like for 2010, it's around 3.15 and such. Do you have any question, by the way? Do you have any question? Okay, so how do we plot only the average rating by year? So I will just say ggplot average rating by year. I'll give it that name. Aesthetics y is equals to average rating, x is equals to review rate, and then g on point plus for to plot the individual points, and the g om line to just plot the line. So if I run this, or just for that, am I that tired? What was this for? Group by average rating. Okay. And then, so this was actually, oh yeah, average rating by year, but this is by year. Average rating. Okay, so yeah, this line. Let us do that. So let me remove this comment here. So this is to plot an individual point. Let me just remove it just in case. So if I run this, yeah, average rating and review date. So I guess it's actually this, the points and the line. Okay, so we had actually done that. So yeah, so any question? I have finished that part. I want us to get more into visual. Any question? Okay, if there's no question, so I went ahead and created a new R project and gave it a new name. So everybody who was probably left behind with the last one, you can now catch up on this one because we're going to use a different data set. So just to do that, let me just save this and remove it. We don't need it now. We are not going to use the chocolate data. Now we are going to use a data set that's already in R, or a data frame that's already being used in R. So I'm just going to run this called MPG. MPG. So this is that data. If you run it, you're going to automatically see it. Wait, is there, I had a link here. Did I give it? Okay. Okay, so ggplot MPG, full colons in between. So you will be able to see this data set or data frame. So it has a manufacturer, model, display, year. We have this means number of cylinders. The trans is the type of transmission. The DRV stands for the type of drive, where we have the F meaning front wheel drive, 4 meaning 4-wheel drive. We'll have also R meaning rear wheel drive. And then we'll have this one, city miles per gallon. We'll also have class. I don't know, I don't think we can be able to see that, but here at the bottom, we have class, which means the type of car. HWY, which means the highway miles per gallon. I'm getting error running that code. This one, the ggplot, okay, yeah, I know why. Fuel type, meaning the fuel type. So for gg type, you'll have to come and load it up. So install packages ggplot2 library ggplot2. So this is a new file, guys. Go ahead, create a new you can create a new project or just create a new file. Give it your name.rmd, install the package, load the package. But for this command, you should just have ggplot two full colons mpg. It will automatically give you that data frame. If I want to know more about it, I put a question mark before it. If I run it, you will see it gives me a summary of what is happening with that package. It gives me a description, usage, MPG format, manufacturer name, model name. Like I was saying, this display, they have written it like that. Just a short of engine displacement in liters, year of manufacture, CYL meaning number of cylinders, um, type of transmission, DRV meaning the type of drive, where F is front drive, rear drive, wheel drive, and then we have meaning for forward, four-wheel drive, not forward, four-wheel drive, and then city meaning city miles per gallon. This one meaning highway miles per gallon. FL meaning fuel type, class meaning type of car. So just anytime you need to reference, use that command, !MPG. So I believe now you might not be having an error anymore, Samuel. So I will now install my packages. I will now install my packages. So for this case, will it accept now? Okay, so if I, is it finished? Okay, so it kept bringing me this pop-up anytime I would say yes. So I said no, and it was able to now cooperate. So please, if you miss a class, just make sure you watch the recording to catch up so that you can be able to all be at the same place. And with our studio, even where we will leave off today, before the class, just load up everything, all those packages and everything that we had worked on. Though this time I will actually give an assignment, so just try it out and see how you will be able to analyze. So I'm hoping you guys are not as tired and we can be able to cover something more today, because I'm supposed to give out a project next class. So it's now installing. So wait, what has installed? I think it was library, or okay, let me just run it. So I'll say no, and then as it finishes, so make sure you do that. Install packages ggplot2 library ggplot2. So remember, the packages and the library is ggplot2, but the function is ggplot. So don't ever forget that. Any questions so far? Samuel, have you solved that error? So we are now going to plot the MPG. Okay, so let me just continue explaining. ggplot2 mpg. So that it should just is expected to show the data set. It's expected to show the data set, this mpg ggplot2 two full colons mpg. Okay, then try, wait, let me see if there's a space here. Okay, there's no space. Ensure there is no space as well. Ensure there is no space and that you're a new working environment. If it completely refuses, just go and create new project. If it completely refuses, go and create a new project. And then, okay, so for me, I have some wherever. So, oops. I hope I haven't messed up. Yeah, just go. So now create new directory and then new project. Give it a name. So my name was, okay, I can give it like plots and then create project. So once that is done, you see, it will take me to that new project. I will just go back to wherever I was. Now create a new file while you're in that project. Come here, file, to give you the options, take R Markdown. And then now I can probably give it plots as well. It's not a must. RMD, just RMD. Just leave it as a HTML, scroll to the bottom, you'll see OK. And then it will open up. So once you do that, ignore all that, you'll just read it later on, leave it as it is, go to the next line and now start coding from there. So anybody who has an error, do that. Okay, so I'll just go back to my code. Minus data visualization. Yeah, visual.rmd. Okay, so no problem. For creating a project or for for seeing the data set, which process? For creating a project or for seeing the data set, the project. Go up here, click new project, click new directory. Then it will take you to new project again. Give it your a name. So it can be like new. And then create project. It will switch out to that project. Now come ahead and create a new file. In the new file, go to R Markdown. Give it now new.rmd, meaning markdown, and then OK. It will now create the file. Scroll to the bottom, don't alter with anything. You just read it to revise and now continue. Probably should be from line 31 or something. So yeah, so I hope that is clear. So I'll just open my file. Okay, so yeah, so probably, I don't know, it might have. So I was explaining something. I was saying, well, that is happening. I can just explain. So to plot the MPG, run this code to put display, and it wasn't display, it was this value, the so remember this this with this data frame, it will, because of these names. Okay, for me it was a little bit confusing, maybe for you it won't. If it is, just use the question mark mpg, so that we can be on the same place, we can be understanding. So this, the to display, it means engine displacement in liters. So we shall put the engine displacement in liters on the x-axis, and the highway, this was highway miles per gallon, on the y-axis. So let me just confirm that is done. Okay, everything is done. I believe so. So I will now type this code. So ggplot data is equals to mpg plus geompoint mapping is equals to aesthetics, where we have x is equals to engine displacement in liters and y is highway miles per gallon. So I haven't crammed them, I have just written them down. Don't be like, no, no, I haven't crammed them, to be honest. So the ggplot data is equals to mpg creates an empty graph, just like we saw before. The function g on point adds a layer of points to your plot. It creates a scatter plot. So geom point always creates a scatter plot. Don't ever forget that. If you want to create a scatter plot, use the geom point. Each geom function in ggplot takes a mapping argument. This defines how variables in your dataset are mapped to visual properties. The mapping argument, this mapping here, is always paired with aesthetics, where in the x and y arguments of the aesthetic specify the variables to map in the x and y arguments. So the mapping is always taken in by the geom point, and it defines how variables are mapped to your graph or to your plot. So let us run this. Yeah, so we can see how our plot is looking. We can see how our plot is looking. So remember, because it's geom point, it will always create a scatter point, a scatter plot. So this is a scatter plot. So we can see the engine displacement in liters and the highway miles per gallon. So it seems that when we are at 20 miles, highway miles per gallon, the engine displacement for this in liters is around 2.7 or 2.8. We can see for this is 4. Um, for this is 7 when it's just at 25. So probably this is, I think probably it has a heavier engine. So I'm not yet familiar with cars so that much. So I'm assuming that this has probably a big engine so that it can consume more engine oil in liters. So if I'm wrong, just guide me for those who are familiar with cars. So yeah, so um hmm. Yes, somebody has unmuted themselves. Do you have a question? Are you guys tired, or I leave it at that point, or should I continue? Can I just get, because I know we have taken up a lot of time catching up. Do I continue? No judgment. I won't judge you if you're tired. Or do we stop there?
I say we continue.
Can I get another Magana is tired. Somebody else? Those are two people. 2 votes are in. Somebody else? Please stop there. Jambi is also tired. 3 votes for tired. Somebody else? Tired also. brain is overheating. Okay, so I think what I can do is just share the resource for you to go and look up. But um for the next class, because we haven't covered, I wanted us to cover all this. You can see it's a lot, eh? So because we were not able to cover all that. For the next class, let us then agree to start at 7:30 so that we can cover all that and also cover what is expected to be covered for that class. So what I will do, I will give these questions. These ones are just after that specific, this one specifically. So I will give that question. There was like a small exercise you guys were to do. So here, this, just go and do this, and you can quickly type it on the WhatsApp group after I post it here, and then you guys can just be able to do that. So do we agree that the next class we will meet earlier? Have we all agreed? Okay, Deno is like, yes, I agree. And there are few people who are not active, so I hope you guys will be active in the next class. Please make sure if there's a class you missed, just watch the recording. It's not a lot of hours, 1 hour, few minutes. And then so that you can just catch up, because I am still expected to deliver a lot to you guys. So I know we are setting that a visualization is going to be a little bit heavy on the brain. That is very true. So next next Thursday, let's meet. Next Friday, let's meet on at 7:30. So I hope you guys have taken that assignment. That's an assignment, by the way. So I'm expecting everybody should do it. So I'm expecting all of you have taken it. So if that's okay, can we then call this the end of our class? Is Peter here? He left. Okay, can we then call this the end of our class and let us meet on Friday? So bye bye, guys. No problem, Anshiro. Bye bye. Bye bye, Samuel. How do we submit? You will submit by sharing. Okay. First do it on your code, and then we will do it on your end. Do it separately. Don't mix it up. Just do it separately. I will know how we look into it, and then I will show you how to be sharing your codes. We can even be combining them on GitHub so that at least you can have this on GitHub. I'm also supposed to cover that, how to share this through GitHub. So we have a lot to cover. So next Friday, don't forget your meeting earlier at 7:30. So thank you, Samuel. So let us meet on Friday. Bye bye. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Stella. Stella, is there anyone left in the meeting that I can talk to? I had a question. Might check anyone. Sarafina, Obakar, Timothy. Timothy, are you there?
Hey, hello.
Hey,
Popo.
I had a question.
Uh-huh.
So there's some libraries that she's Stella had mentioned earlier that enable the data visualization.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
do,
yeah.
do you did you like grasp the links or the names of those libraries? Maybe.
Oh, not yet. It skipped me a bit, but she'll share the recordings. I'll follow through.
All right then.
Hey,
Thank you.
Popo. Hey,
Uh,
meeting imeisha. Don't worry.
yeah, but it's still recording somehow. So I don't know if Winnie is still here. Anyway, you take care. Have a good night.
Hey, same, same.